Hi there, and thanks for joining me for this week's edition of your Wheel and Anchor weekly newsletter. I'm here in the last couple of days of our live away on the beautiful island, the country of Malta, here in the middle of the Mediterranean. Behind me, the Grand Harbor, the spectacular entrance to the city of Valletta, City of the Knights, as it's sometimes referred to, and it's been a magnificent trip. The weather has been kind of like this most of the time, which makes it really one of the best places to be, I think, to spend the latter part of winter, with temperatures in the high teens and even low 20s, and hardly any rain, and wow, it's been fantastic. I've been busy working away with my team on our programs for next year. We're working as fast as we can to get out our 2024 programs, given that there's not much left in 2023. So if you are still thinking about traveling in the fall of this year, you might want to take a look at that trip list. We have some availability on some of our remaining programs, but you'll also notice that a couple of the programs have disappeared from the list, notably Tuscany for the fall of this year. And it points to one of the trends that I wanted to mention this week, because, you know, I like to shed a little bit of light on what's going on in the travel industry, and obviously how it impacts us, but obviously how it impacts you as travelers as well. And two things have been coming up lately that are really a bit of a thorn in the side, but it's kind of a sign of the times, as the travel industry, particularly the hotel industry, but airlines as well, still have a bit of a supply side issue, and that, you know, the lack of labor in the workforce, all those people that left during the pandemic that haven't come back, and you know, we've seen it from time to time in our hotels that we've been working with, that, you know, the labor shortage is definitely causing some ongoing problems. And two of those things that are happening is, number one, because demand is as strong as it ever was before the pandemic, and with the limited amount of supply, hotels have been coming back to us, irrespective of what kind of contract we have with them, and saying, hey, you know, those rooms that you booked for the end of this year, for the fall, we need you to pay for them right now. We need a full non-refundable deposit, or full payment even, to be able to hold on to those rooms. And of course, it puts us in a bit of an awkward situation as it relates to you, because if we don't have bookings for those rooms, then needless to say, it's not within our capability to pay for rooms that that haven't been booked by our members. So that's why we've had to release a couple of our programs, like Tuscany, and there may be others where if we're not ready, if we're not all signed up, then we have no choice but to let those rooms go. And I think that's a trend that is likely to continue for the foreseeable future, particularly because we focus, generally speaking, and that's not universally the case, we try to focus on smaller, you know, boutique type hotels that have a smaller inventory of rooms, and, you know, that frankly have a lot more local appeal, and that's, you know, what we like, that's what our members like, but those hotels are the first ones to go. And the other trend that we've seen, which will not make our solo travelers, our growing list of solo travelers, very happy, is that hotels have come back to us saying that they're limiting the number of single rooms. So I'm not going to go into the whole explanation of how single supplements work, because I know nobody likes them. Believe me, I hate them as much as anybody. But obviously our programs, as are consistent throughout the industry, are based on two people sharing a room. And in some cases in Europe and other parts of the world, hotels will offer us a better deal for a solo person, a single person occupying a room. But now what they've said is that they're going to limit the inventory on so-called single rooms to only a handful, because they're obviously looking to put two people in a room as much as possible, because they get more revenue that way. And so this is coming up for our Holy Land program next year. We have a whole bunch of solo members who want to join us on that program, and the hotel has said no. you can't have any more single rooms. So this isn't the first time we've seen that. And again, I think this is all part of the same supply issue in the hotel industry in all around the world, frankly. So that's a few of the things that we're dealing with. We're doing our best, as we always do for our members, to try and work through all these issues because we want to make everybody happy. We want to make sure that everybody, all of our travelers, solo travelers, and everyone can go where they want to go. So that's what's been happening. Just a quick recap. This past week, I did our webinar about our next year's trip here to Malta. And we have 2 new hotels that we're introducing right in the city, in the walled city of Valletta. So if you missed that, take a look, click on the link below and you'll find a replay of that webinar. And some more exciting programs coming up in the next couple of weeks. You'll find details on those webinars, so I hope you'll tune in for that. And next week I'll be joining a new group of members in Sicily on the north coast. And I can't wait to report from you there, where I understand the weather has been just as nice as it's been here. Take care. Have yourselves a great week.